Well, my friends, we sure do have some interesting information to discuss today. We will be talking all about Steve Gonsalves, Shanon Gray, Joel Cohen, and none other than the one, the only, the Antichrist himself, Doug Wilson. The Justin Speaks podcast starts right now. We all know Steve G hired Shanon Gray as his attorney, right? Right. Steve and Shanon formed the first link in our chain. Let's pretend in a hypothetical universe we live by the mantra of keep your friends close and your enemies closer. I can speculatively deduce there's a fair chance Steve has beef with Shanon. However, that's just speculation. I can't prove it's true, which is why I said a hypothetical universe. Don't come at me. What I can prove to you is the little temper tantrum Shanon Gray threw during court one day in early 2023. I'm pretty sure I caught him contradicting himself. Take a look at this clip and decide for yourself. Let me know what you think in the comments.
After Mr. Koberger was indicted, we received no information about anything regarding the prosecution. Nothing. They wouldn't even tell us that a grand jury was being impaneled for Mr. Koberger. They told us that there was a grand jury that was being impaneled, and common sense, we figured it out, because he's the only guy in the county. But they wouldn't even relay that information.
Now, we're going to break it down. Shanon Gray said they wouldn't even tell us that a grand jury was being impaneled for Mr. Koberger. They told us that there was a grand jury that was being impaneled, and common sense we figured it out because he's the only guy in the county. But they wouldn't even relay that information. Dude, Shanon, they literally told you to your face they were impaneling the grand jury. Shanon, you literally told on yourself. Previous clients haven't been all that happy with services rendered after retaining Shanon as their counsel. This court document tells us Shanon had to serve a 30-day suspension from being able to practice law. That suspension occurred from January 21st to February 21st of 2022. Yes, you heard me correctly, 2022. Because you see, what happened was Shanon took a check from a client. This check was their retainer fee. What is a retainer fee? A retainer fee is essentially the same thing as putting down a deposit on a house. That fee basically says, hey, I'm going to pay you a little bit now and then I'm going to pay you more later. So their spot is held because they put down that retainer fee. Shanon told that client he would be putting that money into a trust account. Except that's not what actually happened. The money actually went into Shanon's operating fund. So in non-legalese, Shanon took money from a client, told the client it was going to go to one bank account, but the money ended up in a different bank account where it wasn't supposed to be, and the client was in the dark the entire time. I am absolutely not a lawyer. This is simply an observation based off of the documents I have available to me at this time. After speaking with a friend who works within the law enforcement world, per her opinion, this was misappropriation of funds. Now, later on in this document, we can see that Shanon has done this more than once.
Did you fall down and smack your little head on the pavement?
What was the punishment? In non-legalese, he was given a slap on the wrist. Why do all of you keep telling on yourselves? Why do you keep inventing whole new levels of stupid? I promise you it really isn't all that hard, honey.
Harvard. Law school.
You got into Harvard Law?
What, like it's hard?
But again, I'm not a lawyer, so don't take that as gospel. If lawyers want to share their voice down in the comments below, please do. You see, what's funny is, Shanon has an address associated with his name, which is also associated with the name of this guy, Joel Cohen. Based on the research I have done, I personally feel, in my opinion, it is safe to say that Shanon Gray is a rather shady individual. This brings us to the third link in our chain, Joel Cohen. Joel previously held, if not still currently holds, the position of financial officer at Christ Church. Yeah, you heard me right. Joel Cohen was, or is, Doug Wilson's money man. I also thought it's interesting there's an address associated with Joel's name at Camp Pendleton, California. Camp Pendleton is a United States Marine Corps base. What made this interesting for me, personally, was that I couldn't find a record of Joel ever serving as a Marine. The challenge, should you choose to accept it, is to find a record of Joel serving as a Marine. Joel delivers us to our big fish, the one, the only, the Antichrist himself, Doug Wilson. I am not sorry in the slightest, but I would be more than okay with it if the throat cancer is what takes him out. Maybe he shouldn't have off the gay gods in the great beyond. And that was where he really up.
See, their morals, their code. It's a bad joke.
And with that, I drop the mic. Until I see you again, go Cubs and fly the W. Justin out.
Al, how many times have I asked you to denounce the practices of a fringe group that calls itself the Lambs of God?
Oh, sir, that's not up to me.
Crap, it is up to you, Al. You'll denounce these people, Al. You'll do it publicly. And until you do, you can all get your fat asses out of my White House. CJ, show these people out.